Hi everyone, my name is Janine Kruse. I'm with the Indigenous and Rural Relations Department with the Regional Municipality of Buffalo. And today I'm here with our special guest, Stephanie Harpe, for week 3 of our 7-week Truth and Reconciliation Challenge. Welcome, Stephanie. How are you?
I'm doing good, thank you.
Good. Maybe we can just start by introducing yourself and share with our listeners and those watching a bit about who you are and what you do.
Sure. So Atlanta, hello everybody. My name is Stephanie Harpe. I'm from Fort McKay First Nation. I am employed with Fort McKay First Nation for the last couple of years, doing a lot of work in the home region. And I was born and raised in Edmonton. I was also raised in Fort McMurray after being taken away from residential school in Edmonton. My father moved us back to McMurray as soon as he could get us back and have us safe. So I'm one of the top international grassroots advocates for our country of Canada. I'm the niece of Historical Chief Dorothy MacDonald. I'm the mother of murdered parent Ruby Ann MacDonald. I myself am a murder attempt survivor. I'm a survivor of every horrific statistic that you can think of as an Indigenous woman in this country called Canada. So I'm on the ground with the people a lot. I look after a lot of murdered or missing and exploited Indigenous families in a lot of Western Canada. I've traveled all over this country and I do keynotes for United Nations and I reach the world. My voice reaches the world. So that's what I'm doing and helping to lead the MMEIP initiative for the Wood Buffalo region with an amazing task force team.
Stephanie, you're part of that amazing task force, and you mentioned in your introduction there MMEIP, and I think a lot of people may be familiar with MMIWG, so Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women and Girls. Maybe if you could just explain for folks the reason behind using MMEIP and what that stands for.
Absolutely. So us grassroots advocates and myself that are on the ground with the people wanted to change the acronym to include the Indigenous men and boys. Okay, so here in the province of Alberta, we have over 700 murdered and missing Indigenous men and boys, and our two-spirited and gender diverse males. So this is really important to include them. So we changed the acronym so that they felt included. The National Inquiry had left them out. When they go through the same survival, they've been through the same trauma, the same horrific genocide, and our men and boys get Starlight Toured. So this is something that has been happening to them, and we need to get them healing. We need to have them included and let them know that they're important and try to get them back to the traditional roles as protectors that they were always meant to be. And we need to let them know that they're loved and that they matter. So we changed it to MMEIP, murdered or missing. Two totally different things that need to be more separated. It's not it's not the same thing. And kind of lightens the impact of it. So it's missing or murdered. A family member that wakes up every day not knowing, to a family member every day wakes up knowing. That's still horrific for them to live and try to get through that every day. And exploited. There's different types of exploitation. There's sexual exploitation, child sexual exploitation, but there's also male labor exploitation that happened to our men and boys. So that needs to be acknowledged as well, that they go through that, and they need their own mental health addressed as well. So murdered or missing and exploited Indigenous peoples. That way, we're all included. We're all together.
Okay, thank you for explaining that. Typically, what we see in a visual representation is the red dress. I know that there's been something that you've created to go along with the MMEIP movement.
Yes. So this is a red dress that was sent to me from Great Britain, all the way across the planet. So where they're hearing my voice, they're hearing our stories of what's happening to our people here, and they do care. So this was sent halfway across the planet to represent and let us know that they're listening and that they care. So the red dress is very, very important, very representative of our women and girls. That's wonderful, very wonderful. Now we have Lydia Quinney and I had created the blue jean jacket pin. So Elder Lydia Quinney put this together for me as I asked her to have an identity and pride pin for the 700 murdered and missing Indigenous men and boys of the province of Alberta. Now we kind of wanted to maybe do a collaboration of make sure we have everyone together and have everyone, on board together. So I contacted Dee Dee Grandjam, Fort McKay First Nations, and we got the Unity Pin. So this is the Unity Pin project that Fort McKay and the community that we're working on here. It should be released soon, but we got a little bit more work to do in the region to bring people together and then address this. Because the racism in the region is very thick and it's really affecting all community. So this is the blue jean jacket. This is the red skirt, the gender diverse colors, the orange moccasins for the children in the ground, and it says "No one left behind." The Unity Pin for our people, and this will be released at a time when it's right to be released, and that we can all come together to address this. And so the Unity Pin is really, really important because we need to be unified to get this work done.
It's beautiful. I love it. And we're going to link to the No One Left Behind video that was shared, I think, about a year ago now. And I think it's still such a powerful video. So we'll link that there. You mentioned the orange moccasins there. You talked a bit about racism being really thick in this area specifically. Maybe if you could just touch on for us, I think sometimes people maybe have a hard time understanding the issue or becoming, involved in the conversation. It can be difficult. Like, how do you make that first kind of step forward into being a part of the change or the solution? So how is Orange Shirt Day, residential schools, the red dress, all of it tied and connected, and what can people do to get involved?
So it's all tied and connected as our people are trying to get more unified right now with everything going on. The count is still going, and everyone and all of us are triggered in a different way every single day, right? So what we need everyone to do is to get truth and training from survivors. Truth and training about Indigenous truth and what is this country's agenda, the history of it, how it affects us today, and what it looks like in the future is really, really important. It's important for non-Indigenous people to have grassroots and survivors come to teach them that truth, because it has to be ground level, okay? The way things have been working so far, with the National Inquiry and all these other things, the National Action Plan, it's been staying up here. This is not where it works. Down here is where it works. And we all have to kind of meet in the middle for this to even get anywhere and to have better results. This is the age of action, okay? But this is also the age of connection, okay? After the last few years, I think we've lost a lot of connection. We've had this anxiety. We have this fear, control thing going on with the agenda of others. And doesn't matter what we believe. It doesn't matter what respect it. There's a lot of people who are miseducated, and it's not their fault. The phones are a curse. The phones are a blessing, right? So it's really important for you to realize truth. You have to get it from us directly, and from us that are healed. You can't be unwell and do wellness work, right? It's really important that you're a long way upon your healing journey in order to connect in this healthy way. Really important that we have healthy people leading that. And we want others to come and ask us questions, include us, bring us to the circle, bring us to the table. And we need to be at those really important tables of decision-making power to be included, to have our voice there, so that we can actually see and feel and run towards change. We need people to know that every day is Orange Shirt Day. Every day is Orange Shirt Day until the government and the church and the military give us some healing. That's all we want, is some healing. It's not about what everyone else is thinking it is. This isn't a money thing. We need healing. We have been severely traumatized for generations, and this was a strategic plan. So we need to be more strategically planned in how we're going to get this done together. With the recent events of the Pope visit, it bubbled over. It triggered a lot of people. I know myself, it did trigger me, but I know what to do for my wellness, and I want others to be able to know that as well. So whenever you're triggered, you have to do something that helps get you healed and taken away. So when we have non-Indigenous people coming to us and saying, come in for truth and training, it's wonderful because I've been elevated to these really important spaces where I am seeing and making and impacting lives of change. So I just really want a lot of those people up here to come reach for us down here so that we can make sure that everyone is included, everyone is heard. The valuable voice of an Indigenous person is really, really at a loving state with everyone knowing the truth of what happened to us now after they found the children in the ground, though, that they believe us. And we have a lot more work to do.
Yeah. We're grateful to you, Stephanie, for coming in and being that grassroots, on the ground Indigenous advocate and telling and sharing the truth with members of council and senior leadership here. And we look forward to continuing that work with you. For people who maybe, I mean, this is a heavy topic, right? We'll link to some resources on the website for folks as well, if there's someone out there that wants to be in touch with someone to talk about this. But do you have any specific resources or information that you want to share with people who are watching today that maybe are having a difficult time right now?
Absolutely. A lot of people are wanting a lot of one-on-one right now. So I've been very, very busy with that. And so I do have people reach out to me, and I will give my email as well, because I think it's a really, really personal thing where families need to hear from another family member. So my email is one of the main resources for the region. Which will be listed here, and Janine will get that to you. Also, we have the 24/7 MMIWG crisis line. So the crisis line is 1-844-413-6649. We also have the Hope for Wellness hotline for Indigenous peoples that speaks 15 of our languages across the country. So that's another one that is 24/7. It is employed by Indigenous people. Everyone has Indigenous training. So we have to remember that. A person has to have Indigenous truth and training in order for them to help you, so that they can further understand. You're a traumatized person coming in with layers of trauma to talk about something for an hour. Really important that you reach out for that. And so we also have other grassroots advocates. We have Jess Croucher up in the region, who is a really great resource. So I implore you to get a hold of Alamu Creative, and they do great services and events, and that's someone I work with very closely. So I do a lot of training. I do a lot of one-on-ones. So a lot of it's been on social media and private video chat. I think that's been helping most of all. We also have the FILU. We have the FILU, the Alberta Family Indigenous Liaison Unit. They have a lot of resources as well. And so I think that's someone that, we can all reach out to. And, don't forget about the calls to justice. Look for the shorter summary of the calls for justice. Really, really important. So also we have the Victims of Crime, the National Victims of Crime booklet, for you to get more services and staying more informed on your safety and being resilient in this country when it's really set up against our people. So yeah, those are the resources that I have for you, and I just hope that you reach out for more, and really look at yourself and what you're needing at this time. We need everyone to be patient. We need everybody to be kind as they count and count and count. It's not going to stop for quite a while. So please be understanding and seek that truth from us directly.
Perfect. Stephanie, thank you so much for your time today and your continued commitment to this. I think I've said to you before, I don't know how you do it, but you do it, and you do it very well, and we're grateful, and we look forward to continuing the conversation with you in the future. So thank you. If there's anything else you want to add before you go. But it's been a pleasure to speak with you today.
Thank you, Mercy Cho. Hi. Thank you to everybody. And yeah, if anyone needs to get a hold of me, I'm again with Fort McKay First Nations, and I want to thank them for also bringing me home to do the work and getting us ahead of this horrific events that need to be more addressed and carefully brought to the forefront. So I'm honored, and I look forward to working with all of you.